Okay, today we are doing area of quadrilaterals. This will be, well, part of level 4. There was some of level 4 in the first day of notes. The notes were kind of all mixed together for what the levels are. But area of quadrilaterals, where you have to plot the points and draw it, that's going to be a level 4 skill. So let's first, we're not going to talk about rectangles because you know how to find the area of a rectangle from yesterday's notes. It's just the length times the width. For a parallelogram, first let's describe what a parallelogram is. A quadrilateral bounded by parallel lines. So I'm showing you the symbols there that we use for congruent and parallel because we'll start using symbols more. So opposite sides are congruent. So you know they are the same length. So this side and this side are the same length. And this side and this side are the same length. They are congruent. And they are parallel. So this side is parallel to this side, and this side is parallel to this side. Also, opposite angles are congruent. So we have these angles that are the same measure and these angles that are the same measure. The base and the height form a right angle. So we have the base here and the height, and they make a right angle. And the formula for a parallelogram is base times height. Now let's talk about a rhombus. So a rhombus has 4 congruent sides. They are all the same length. And the opposite angles are congruent. So these 2 angles are congruent and these 2 angles are congruent. The diagonals are perpendicular bisectors. So the diagonals we have, oops, don't want a highlighter. The first diagonal runs this way. We'll put D1. And the second diagonal runs this way. That's D2. They are perpendicular, so that means they form a right angle. Let me zoom in here for what I'm drawing. They form a right angle. And it says they are bisectors, which means they divide each other perfectly in half. And the area for a rhombus is 1/2 diagonal 1 times diagonal 2. Okay, let's name each quadrilateral below and then calculate the area, and we'll also see if we can find the perimeter.
Do you have contacts?
Is A rhombus or a parallelogram? Parallelogram. So to find the area of a parallelogram, we just do the base times the height. Which is 5 times 4. So the area is 20 meters squared. Remember, you always put the units squared after area. Now, can we find the perimeter? If we know that the base is 5, then we also know that this other side is 5. And then the other two sides are 4.9. So let's find the perimeter. I have 2 times 5 plus 2 times 4.9. $19.8 meters. Okay, B. We have another parallelogram. So which side will we use as our base? The base and the height have to form a 90-degree angle. So we know that our height is going to be the 8.2. Oops. Which means that either one of these could be used as the base. 8.3. Okay, and I'm going to round to the nearest tenth, so 68.1, oops, it's inches squared. Now let's find the perimeter. So we have the top and the bottom, 8.3. We know that this side is 12.8. That means that this side also has to be 12.8 because these sides are congruent. So that's going to be 42.2 inches for the perimeter. Okay, the last one is a rhombus, and we know that because all four sides are congruent. So the area of a rhombus is 1/2 diagonal 1 times diagonal 2. So we know that this diagonal is 10, and this one is 8. So the area is 40 kilometers squared. And it gives us the length of one side here, 6.4, but we know they're all four sides are congruent. So the perimeter is going to be 4 times 6.4. $25.6. Okay, now let's do an actual level 4 problem where we have to draw the shape and find the area and perimeter. So plot the vertices and draw the shapes. I do have rulers back here. If anyone wants to be very precise with theirs, you can borrow a ruler. So we have -5, -7. Let me use black. And that's G. 2 -7 is H. Eight -4 is I. And -1 -4 is J. Something's wrong. Yeah. 1 -4. Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay. So this is a parallelogram. So we're going to do the base times the height. For two of these sides, we can just count the squares from either G to H or J to I. So that's 7. And we can do a perpendicular line to the base right here for the height, which would be 3. So all we have to do to find the area is multiply them. Now to find the perimeter, I'm going to have to find the length of these sides. I know that they are congruent, so I just use the distance formula once, either between J and G or I and H. So I'll do J and G. So this will be -5 minus 1 squared plus -7 plus 4 squared. Okay, so again, don't round this until you add everything together. So my perimeter is going to be 2 times 7 plus 2 times the square root of 45, because that's the, let me write that in green. The square root of 45 is the length. So what is my perimeter rounded to the nearest tenth? 27.4 units. Okay, now we have a rhombus, so let's plot the vertices and draw it. See if I can plot these ones correctly. -9, -2. Zero, 0. Six, 7. Nobody laugh. -3, 5. Okay, we are told it's a rhombus, so I know that all 4 sides are congruent. So all I have to do is calculate one side, and I know the distance or the length of each side. So I'm going to do SR. You can pick any two or any side and calculate the distance. It will give you the same answer. So the length of one side is the square root of 85. So my perimeter is 4 times the square root of 85. Rounded to the nearest tenth, it's 36.9 units. Now, to get the area, I have to multiply the diagonals and multiply it by 1/2. So I have to find the distance between Q and S and the distance between T and R. Using the distance formula. Using my calculator, I get an answer of 3 root 34. I'm not going to convert it to a decimal yet. So that's my D1. Now let's find the distance between T and R. This one's the square root of 34. So that's my D2. So for area, I have 1/2 times diagonal 1 times diagonal 2. And you'll see why I don't have you round it until the very end. Because what is my answer? $51. It's a whole number. 51 units squared. If I had rounded those two diagonals, I would have ended up with a decimal answer and had to round that, but I could have gotten an exact answer, which is 51 units squared. So your practice again is in Delta Math today.